Module Overview, Module 4, Conceptual Approaches to Visual Composition and Spatiality, explores the redefinition of space, form, materiality, and viewer interaction in the context of abstract and conceptual art. While traditional art emphasizes composition within a defined pictorial plane or physical form, conceptual artists often challenge spatial conventions, dissolve objecthood, and introduce psychological, philosophical, ephemeral, or environmental dimensions to space and structure. In this module, you will examine how site-specificity, installation, absence, void, relational space, and the politics of display inform composition. We will analyze how the spatial design of a conceptual piece contributes not only to its physical arrangement, but to its semantic framework, altering meaning through the manipulation of context, void, and presence. The module also introduces expanded field theory, Rosalind Krauss, the decentered viewer, and relational aesthetics, Nicolas Bourriaud, to understand how contemporary artists construct meaning in collaboration with audience presence, absence, and movement. You will learn how space is no longer a passive container, but an active conceptual and discursive element of the artwork. 1. Expanded field of composition. Rosalind Krauss's theory of the expanded field beyond sculpture to include landscape, architecture, site, the blurring between art and non-art spaces, space as a conceptual material, not just a container. Second, the deconstruction of spatial hierarchies. Flattening of perspective and hierarchy in abstract art. Equal treatment of negative space, background and non-object, rethinking centrality, symmetry, and focal points. The deliberate use of imbalance and visual ambiguity to evoke meaning. Third, site-specific and environmental art. Robert Smithson's Spiral Jetty and the Notion of Entropy. Richard Serra's Steel Sculptures Altering Pedestrian Navigation, Christo and Jean-Claude's Temporary Interventions, The Gates-Wrapped Reichstag. How space is transformed through ephemerality and scale. Ethical questions around land use, context, and access. Fourth, installation as spatial language. Installations as immersive environments communicating conceptual frameworks. Olafur Eliasson's perception-altering spatial installations. Anne Hamilton's use of materials and sound to craft sensorial environments. Space as narrative, psychological, and experiential. 5. Void, absence, and negative space. The aesthetics and politics of emptiness. Yves Klein's The Void, gallery stripped of artwork. Rachel Whitered's casts of negative space. House, space as presence through absence. Poetic voids. 6. Relational space and audience activation. Nicolas Bourriaud's Relational Aesthetics. Space as a medium for interaction. Rirkrit Tiravanija's communal dining installations. Tanya Bruguera's political activation of spatial encounters. Space as a trigger for participation, confrontation, or reflection. 7. Digital and virtual spatiality. Immersive digital environments. VR/AR installations. TeamLab, Refik Anadol, and algorithmic spatial compositions. Data-driven non-material space. Conceptual coding, exploring metaphysical versus physical space in conceptual practice.